why?
Yeah.
Why do you use the R word when you could just say stupid? You're using it because you want that. You want the shock and awe of that word, right?
Yeah.
But what would happen if a white person used the N word?
Yeah.
The shock and awe. And Nate Jackson would be swooping in the Pacific Avenue.
Right.
I don't send pics. I'm just going there. Y'all know this about
So
me.
what are
You
they?
established it.
If they're not thing.
I'm just saying I don't send them.
He's not saying he doesn't receive them.
Wait, did he just take them for himself?
Oh, he said he's not saying he doesn't receive them.
Wait, are you queer?
No, I'm not.
Oh. I was like, I am. Like, I'm
Apparently
all
it's
for it.
No, I know. Apparently it's questionable amongst some folk, but
Like, for us as humans, when we up, it's important to be introspective enough, self-aware enough to learn.
Yeah.
What I would say to us as a collective humanity, when other people are learning, give them grace.
known about you, Allison, for some time.
You just made that sound hella creepy.
I've known about you, Allison, for some time. And now you're here in my spider trap.
Do you see what I do?
Oh, Jesus.
I've been playing the long game.
Oh, my God.
No.
My God.
Well, that's crazy that you've had all these people on before me when you've known me.
It's been the long game.
A bunch of dudes before me have noticed. Okay, we're not gay. All right. All right.
Right.
Correct.
You're like, oh, not again.
How do you introduce yourself?
To whom?
Like, how would you like to be introduced?
Oh, I mean, just Allison Fine.
Allison Fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people call me Allie because that's my social media.
Yeah. I was looking that up, so I was like, that's Allie.
Yeah, Allie, Real Funny AF is my socials, but I actually hate when people call me Allie.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Allison, Real Funny AF was really long. So yeah, Allison. I just go by Allison Fine. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I feel like that actually starts this whole thing.
Yeah.
Because that was going to be my first question.
Well, what your name is?
What's your name?
Yeah.
Who are you? But
Yeah.
no. But so that's great. So Allie.
Allison.
Allison.
Literally.
What a man.
Was
What a dude.
I listening?
I said, literally hate when people call me that.
Well-
he was like, so we call you Allie, right?
Does that.
I can cuss, right? I can
Yeah,
cuss? Okay, good.
absolutely.
Take two. No, the problem is, Allison, I've been looking at your social media.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
all
I get
Allie.
it. I get it.
Allie
Real Funny
Allie
AF.
Real Funny AF.
I just had to brand myself when I started comedy, and I was like, I don't know. That just seemed to make sense, I guess.
I think it rolls off the tongue. It does make sense.
Yeah, it's fun. And so my last name is Fine.
There you go.
Like my
Right.
birth name.
Birth name is Fine.
I think people think it was a stage name, Fine. And I'm like, nah, that's the one I unfortunately grew up with.
Unfortunately, no,
Yeah.
that's dope.
Well, it's dope now, but growing
Right.
up as like a fat kid, kids are mean. People call me Allie, not so fine. Allie thinks she fine. Allie wishes she was fine. Or Allison, whatever. And people are mean. Now I love it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But also now I have, this spicy ass personality. So people like Allie Real Funny AF.
Yeah.
That's Allie Real Funny Allison Fine, right? Those are my initials. But of course everyone thinks it means as
Yeah.
I
I definitely
Because they know
didn't
me.
piece
Is
that
that what
together.
that's like what they call that double entendre. Is that
Yeah,
what it is?
exactly.
It works both ways.
It actually started with politics. Like I was the chair of the Democrats in the 30th legislative district over in Federal Way for a long time. And I needed like a new email address. And I'm even as the chair of my legislative district, I'm not always a fan of politics. And so I started it, and it was I'm Fine AF. I'm Fine AF 23.
That's good.
And so that's more as
Right.
that was kind of
I'm fine.
a you to the,
There you
That
go.
email is
Yeah.
no longer in use.
no,
Or
it is,
it?
but only for politics.
Yeah, send your political questions and or interests to that email.
I have so many. How many email addresses do you guys have?
Oh, God.
Oh,
I got like
man.
three or
Yeah,
four.
there's quite
That's
a few.
it, three.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many I have.
Probably
like
the Gmail.
8.
Yeah, the Gmail client can handle like 10. I think it's at least 10.
Yeah.
I still have
Some
some
of them-
Yahoo ones too.
Oh no, I don't have any old ones like that, but I think they're full because I get them for different purposes, right? So I have Allie Real Funny AF at Gmail. That's comedy. my political one. I have a personal one. I have the one I send ads to.
There you go.
Sign up for fast food apps. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. There you go.
That's so
Kind of
smart.
the junk one. I also
that's a
have,
smart move.
I'm guessing we'll talk about my kiddo. I monitor my kid's social media, so I have her email. And then right now I'm running a couple campaigns, so I have those emails.
There you go.
And then I manage the Night Owl, which was a nightclub on South Tacoma Way for a year, and so I had their email.
Sure.
Too many emails.
Yeah, I was going to challenge Money and be like, how many emails are on your
We don't talk about
Gmail
that.
account?
I got so many. So many.
I actually
I'm
only
starting
have
to get notifications on emails I haven't used in a long time. And they're just like, yeah, you got like so many days to use this or we're going to delete it. I'm like, I don't even remember that one.
Until you got to log into something that's
Exactly.
using it. You're like, damn.
It's a mess.
I know. I think I had almost 6 figures in my email at one point.
I got 56
what?
unread.
I saw his phone randomly while we were here doing the podcast. He's got all these notifications. I'm like, Money. No, I'm about to fix this.
Yeah,
right
I don't let
now.
my notifications for my text build up.
Yep.
When I see
same.
somebody with like 782 unread
This
text,
guy.
No, not text. I can't do text.
disrespectful.
I don't do text.
Okay.
Text, I always keep clean because I'm good about that.
The
It's
one
just
thing.
everything else.
No, I mean,
Everything else is
I have
all
other
good.
things that will go. Okay, pro tip. Who has an iPhone here?
I do.
Okay. So, pro tip for the iPhone, you don't have one?
No, I'm
He's that strange duck.
time for you
Yikes,
to
bro.
I know,
Yeah.
right? I
It's time
know.
for you to go.
You guys are looking
Yeah,
for a
that
new
explains a
podcast
lot,
partner.
right?
I'm saying judgment. I found. Hopefully they will sponsor me. I'm gonna keep talking about this app. So hopefully they will sponsor me. Oh, something just fell. I think it was my chapstick or something. I could just see it in the screen.
Oh.
So there's an app for iPhone. It's called Picnic, which doesn't make sense when you hear what it does. It takes your pictures, because you know how you have 42,000 pictures.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
42,000 pictures. That's insane, right?
Yeah.
And like you burst them at 20 a pop,
Right.
right? And then you're like, I want to save one. But
Right.
it takes a long time to like go through and compare them all. Picnic turns I'll show you. Oh no, that was my phone that fell. I must have fallen. Is it down there? There we go. I'm gonna show you. You're gonna be real extra with that.
Because I almost said Allie again. I was like, God.
If you do, I'm not gonna like trip out. So look, it takes your pictures. I'm gonna show you, and it turns them into like I know I have a privacy screen. See how it turns them? See how it's swiping left and right on my pictures? It catalogs your pictures, and it lets you swipe left or right for what you want to keep and what you want to delete. So it basically makes your pictures a dating app, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And you can compare
I know
them.
how to work that.
So if it recognizes that there's like 6 that look alike, you
Yeah.
can kind of like go between the 2 and figure out the ones you want to keep.
Interesting.
And then it puts them in your phone app. It puts them into your deleted folder, and you go through and delete them. And I swear to God, in 6 weeks, I've deleted 7,000 pictures off my phone.
Good Lord.
Yes.
No, true.
But if Picnic wants to sponsor me, I would love
There you go.
to be. I tell everyone about this app. If they have an iPhone, it has made, like, it just makes me feel like I'm accomplishing something.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I do need that because I didn't realize Google's backing everything up that I done. Like I'm like, oh, I thought I deleted it, but Google backed it up. And I'm like, there are a few questionable pics in there. I might want. I'm like,
I found some of those.
I'm like, I didn't realize. I thought I deleted that from my phone,
Right.
but Google saved that.
It
Shit.
was like, nah, I'm gonna
Thank
hold
God
that.
I got that one.
Do you want to describe the questionable ones?
No, I mean,
I'll hold on to that one
you know.
for you.
Are they just terrible faces you made? Is that what it was?
Nah. But I was like, no. When I saw that, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I don't send pics. I'm just going there. Y'all know this about
So
me.
what are
You
they?
established it.
If they're not thing.
I'm just saying I don't send them.
He's not saying he doesn't receive them.
Wait, did he just say
shit.
he takes them for himself?
Oh, he said he's not saying he doesn't receive them.
Wait, are you queer?
No, I'm not.
Oh. I was like, I am. Like, I'm
Apparently
all
it's
for it.
no, I know. Apparently it's questionable amongst some folk, but
So they think you're gay,
to
but you're
remain-
not sure?
no, I'm straight.
Why are you looking at me?
Should we poll the participants? I don't know.
Look, we have already told him, man, be you, be however
Nobody
you want to
cares.
be,
Nobody
and we're
cares.
happy.
It's fine.
He said,
Yeah.
I don't send them, but
Yeah, exactly. Like, he
I might
wants
have
that
taken one to
attention.
see how might that look, and I don't think they look good. I don't know why people send them.
no,
I think they
I
look
don't know
fun.
either.
I think they're
I'm not
gross.
sure why they send them either.
I'm like,
They're
why would I
gross.
send that?
Yeah, they're gross.
It's just like it doesn't look good.
I'm gonna keep my comments to
I
myself.
can't get.
Why?
I think
Do you
I
have
take
strong
some pretty.
feelings
I
on
think I
dick
take
pics?
some pretty damn good pictures.
Well, I wonder what the difference is between you and oh boy
I
over
got a
here.
leg out. I'm angled.
Oh my god.
So, I think you need to put a class together on how to take a good pic.
See, that's probably where I don't want to share.
No,
my
you should.
techniques.
Oh, secret.
You know, secret. You know.
Well, can you share with me, your good friend?
That's
Live on this
and,
podcast.
and then
Yeah,
in case
right.
you wonder why.
Yeah,
why
I heard that. I heard that.
I want to be
I
there
heard
for the
it.
photo session.
I heard that.
Nah,
I did hear that. Oh,
This
shit.
is a great time that I think that Butter and I can confirm. Don't send pics.
Yeah.
If we're not asking for
Yeah,
them or
that's
we
that's
have
the
not
key.
consented,
If you're
and
not
I will
asking,
never
yes.
consent. I don't. What am I do with that?
I'm always surprised when they're requested.
Really?
Yeah.
People request them?
Yeah, well, I guess I date interesting. But yeah,
Okay,
I've been
wait.
requested.
Let's clarify. They're asking this before they've ever seen it.
Yes.
Okay, so you met a girl online, and then now you're
Yes.
texting, and she's like, "Let me see what you're working
They're
with."
trying to shop.
In
They're
some
shopping
cases,
around.
yeah.
Will she stop talking?
Well, I've gotten both. Have they stopped talking to me because of it?
Yeah. Like, are they really measuring you up?
Thankfully, no. But I also
Know how
I
to
would have
take
to
a
be
pic.
talking to you
wait.
for a while before I even send that. If you haven't seen it, man, I think I've only done that a handful of times. Most of the time, it's requested because they've already seen it.
That's what I was
Yeah,
asking.
yeah.
Okay.
There has been a couple
Then I
times
really
where it's
don't
just
know.
like,
Only done it a handful of times, so you're doing it a lot. If you've got a whole handful of the ones that it was before they've seen it.
so
Question.
No wonder you're a
question.
pro.
Question. Do you have a folder of your
I
perfect?
do not. So
pics?
that's the thing. I delete them after I send
You
them.
don't use a hidden folder on your iPhone?
No, I do, but
Okay.
not on my own like pictures.
Not for
though.
his
Not for my
pictures.
pictures.
That's one of the thing about this picnic app, right? Is sometimes you'll see pictures, you'll be
Oh.
like, oh, that should not be in the general population.
Right.
And so you can do it from the picnic app, but it tells you
Okay.
what day you took it, right? So you
Right.
can go back to, February 3rd, 2021 in your regular pictures and be like, oh, that should be
There's-
in the hidden
Yeah,
file.
there probably is some that are floating in the general public that
Right.
should be hidden that I
Picnic,
just
y'all.
forgot.
Yikes.
Picnic, y'all.
picnic.
Oh my gosh. I feel. I was just trying to get a sponsorship. Now they're going to be like, bitch, you can't even use this app no more. Spend 20 minutes talking about dick
Refunding your
pics.
$35 back.
And you know who ruined it? This guy.
Right.
The guy who can't even use
Not
it.
even on the game.
No, that's why I'm hating them.
Yeah.
iPhone, iOS operator. I don't hate you.
Come on, Picnic. Step up your
Oh, my
Android game.
gosh.
I can't believe I said
I
that
know.
because Androids are trash. But
Look, here's why I don't go Apple. Because once you go I get an iPhone, I gotta go Apple everything.
yep, sure do.
And I don't.
Should have already done that a long time
I don't
ago.
See, and that's, yeah.
I'm not that techie. I don't. It's like I make a phone call and I text and I
You
say.
literally do all
dick
the text
pics I
for this
don't
show,
send.
don't
He
you?
doesn't even need a smartphone, to be honest with you. Outside of ChatGPT, you do use that a lot, but
I do. I
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
I've been on Apple my whole life.
Yeah,
like
same.
my mom went back to college when I was 8, and the only discount that they had for college students at the time was an Apple. So we got an Apple IIe computer, and
yeah.
we still have that computer.
Really?
Actually,
That's dope.
yeah, we still have the actual very first computer we ever bought. This little tiny,
That's dope.
like it's a desktop technically, but it's probably like that big. And then my dad just fell in love with Apple products, and that's all we ever had.
So I just wanted to kind of. This has been fun. I'm going to totally switch this up
Yeah,
now.
sure.
I'm going to
Yeah.
kill the vibe. But I first came across you, and I remember outside of Nate Jackson's comedy club, we had a quick conversation. You were doing the open mic collective, and when I first saw you, that was there at the A Street Pub down in Auburn.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
did we talk about that when we met?
Yeah, but I think we all
briefly.
had a few drinks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it was so fast. It was so fast. But that's how like I've known about you, Allison, for some time.
You just made that sound hella creepy.
I've known about you, Allison, for some time. And now you're here in my spider trap.
Do you see what I do?
Oh, Jesus.
I've been playing the long game.
Oh, my God.
No.
My God.
Well, that's crazy that you've had all these people on before me when you've known me.
It's been the long game.
A bunch of dudes before me, I've noticed. Okay. We're not gay. All right. All right.
Correct.
You picked all the dudes before me, even though you've known about me for a long time.
Well, no, so I mean,
That's crazy.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's just like I set myself up.
Christ. That's what I do.
Yeah.
No, but we just comedians laughing, having a good time. We want to know your origin story. How did you get into comedy?
Oh, comedy origin story. Sure. Okay. So, number one, I'm the oldest grandchild in my family. My dad's the oldest of 8 Catholic kids. My dad's gone, but gone like dead, not like abandoned me. Matter of fact,
Like
my dad died.
went to get the
We're
milk.
laughing at that. We're like, oh,
My dad
okay.
died. Going back to the story about like Apple computers,
Yeah.
my dad died suddenly of a heart attack when he was 59. Right. Well, he was in the hospital, some stuff going on, but we didn't anticipate that. Okay. I thought two things when I walked in that hospital room, like, oh my God, my dad is dead, and number two, who is going to fix my computer? What?
He was
Because he was my personal
Right.
like Mac guru, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to my dad. But my dad was the oldest of 8 Catholic kids. I was the oldest grandchild, so I grew up kind of adult in that way. Because I was the oldest on my mom's side as well. And Catholic families, maybe because of their own trauma, I don't know. They're fun. Like they're fun to be around. You know, big families. Period. You know, if you have a sense of humor as a family, you do. My grandfather was one of 5 boys, and the youngest one had cerebral palsy. And back in the 30s, if you had a person in your family with a special need like that, you would just send them off to an institution, or in that case, they would send them off to a nunnery. My great grandparents didn't do that though. They kept my great uncle at home. He did go live at a nunnery for a while, but by the time I came around, he was in his 60s or whatever, and my family lived next door to my great grandmother and my great uncle. He drove and he took my great grandma everywhere and whatever. So that was my Uncle Irving. Well, Uncle Irving, he had cerebral palsy. So he talked with a certain, I don't know. He was part deaf too. So I'm not going to mimic the way he talked. But my aunts and uncles mimic the way he talked all the time. And they just loved, you know what I'm saying? They just loved their Uncle Irving so much. And so we grew up, even though other people might have seen that as mean, like that was how they loved it. And Uncle Irving loved it back, My dad was a DJ growing up. So even though my dad was Catholic, when my grandparents would go out of town, my mom and like my dad would DJ parties at the house for his siblings, and it was all like secret. But by the time I came around, all I'm hearing is stories of these things, right?
Okay.
So my family, they just like to have fun, they like to laugh. They enjoyed being together as a family, which is weird because my grandma died when I was 21, and the family is very much splintered for a million different reasons, just geography and politics and all kinds of stuff. But I was lucky as the oldest grandchild to have that. So I learned how to, we had fun growing up in my family. But I grew up in the Bay Area until I was 11. At 11, I moved to Southern California, to the desert of Southern California. That's where I went to junior high and high school, a little city called Victorville. Not much there. It was cool. It wasn't a terrible place to live. It reminds me of like, I don't know, Texas, Friday Night Lights. Like the only thing you had to do on the weekends was football and like parties and try not to get pregnant. Like that's,
That's where the sights
wasn't
are
that
set.
thing to do. Yeah, I mean you could drive like 30 minutes, what we would call down the hill. The Victorville's in the same desert as Vegas. It's in the Mojave, and so you could go down the hill into like San Bernardino, or you could go up to go to LA, which is like an hour, but you didn't. I mean, so we had fun. But growing up in California, I didn't fit a specific image necessarily. I was skinny until I was about 8 or 9, and then I started gaining weight. I was always a big girl. Even though I was always an athlete and did all kinds of stuff, I was just a big bitch, whatever. White people would reject me. White people didn't like me. I also was opinionated. My parents, again, my parents are both abused by my grandparents.
Okay.
In a very, that's how you discipline your kids kind of way. But now we look at it and be like, damn, they were pretty abused.
Okay.
So they had me. They didn't want to raise me like they were raised, but they didn't know what to do. They had no prototype. So they raised me to be very free and independent. And probably by 4, they were like, oh, shit. We created a monster.
Too late now. We can't go back.
Yeah, so I was very opinionated. I was very outspoken. I just was always like that.
Yeah.
Also, like in kindergarten, they tested me for autism, which 40 years ago, what did they know about autism? And they came out of that saying, she's not autistic, she's brilliant. So they moved me into like a GATE class. At one point, they wanted to skip me a grade. So I was always smarter than people, which sometimes comes off wrong because I'm like, you're dumb. You know, like I wouldn't say that, but I'm sure it came across my attitude. So for various reasons, people didn't like me. Growing up, or white people specifically rejected me because I didn't fit some image, especially in Southern California where all my friends were cheerleaders and blonde and tiny and whatever. And so very early on, black folks took me in. And so, yeah, you know, I mean, black folks will take the ragamuffins of us all and be like, come here, babe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let me meet you. Let me introduce you to my granny.
Yeah, exactly.
So very, very, very early in life, I sort of became assimilated to the black culture. And that's where I was comfortable.
Yeah.
That's where I was comfortable. Most of my friends were black. I learned very early on what white privilege was. We didn't call it that.
Right.
But I was a junior in high school. Me and the homies, we were walking out after a basketball game we were watching. It was a nighttime game because it was a playoff. And the principal, who was a black man, we were walking to the car, and he goes, Mr. Brown, Aaron, can I talk to you boys for a minute? And lets me walk to my car because we smelled like weed. Right? But he didn't stop me. He stopped them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I waited in the car. They came. They were like, oh, you can smell the weed on it. I rolled the blunt. You know what I'm saying? I rolled the blunt. This is a 95, right? But I was an honor student. I was a band kid. I was on paper a nerd. So
that's how you use your privilege.
Oh, absolutely.
You roll the blunt.
Well,
That's how you use it. Like
we can't have this on us. You hold it.
And that's the thing. I joke sometimes in comedy about how I sold drugs in college and I got away with it, but I did.
Yeah.
I had a Ford Taurus station wagon. I was a fat white bitch. Like nobody. And I was not a white girl who necessarily presented like I kicked it with black folks.
Yeah.
I really hung out with mostly dudes. And that's sort of one of, beyond my family structure, just cracking jokes all the time. If you're going to be a white person, or really any woman hanging out with black dudes, and you're not sleeping with them, you better learn how to cap. Hopefully you guys understand cap in that context.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The kids say cap for lie now.
Yeah.
But our generation says cap like I'm on your head.
Yeah,
Talking
exactly.
shit, right?
Exactly.
I
You
don't
gotta
know
be able
how
to keep
old you are,
up.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I learned how to talk shit. But I dressed like a boy back then. Like I dressed in oversized baggy. Oh my God, that shit's coming back. That's so
It
weird.
is. So much so I've been looking at baggy jeans.
Yeah, no,
Like, how do I look
won't
young?
do it. I won't do it, but it's just funny watching these young girls and they're like Gwen Stefani look.
Yep.
And, you know, and so I wore baggy jeans. I wore, you know, oversized t-shirts. I wore Jordans. Part of that was probably my self-esteem, right?
Sure.
Part of it was I wanted the dudes to know I'm not fucking you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the homegirl and that's that. There's a million reasons. Not that I didn't like boys, I did, but I just didn't want to be a hoe.
Yeah.
That came later.
Tell us about that.
But I mean, I learned how to be funny then. So I guess you skip to life. I mean, I did grow up sort of, my parents were married fairly unhappily, I suppose. My mom was a teacher. My dad he was a teamster. He worked for Coca-Cola. And then he got hurt. So that's how we ended up moving to Southern California. He worked for like an analytical equipment company for an aerospace. I don't know what he did. Anyways, that allowed us to buy our first house, and that's what moved us to Southern California. And so college didn't seem like an option. It just seemed like what you did. So, but my parents were poor enough. They were like, but we're not paying for it. So I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
So I went to junior college, and I moved back to the Bay Area right after high school. I lived with my grandmother, and so I went to junior college, and then I went on to work for a while, and then I finished up my bachelor's degree. I have a bachelor's in human services management, and then I went on to get a master's in education. I wanted to be a lawyer. And if you know anything about the horoscopes, my birthday's October 2nd. I'm a Libra. I'm a triple Libra. So a lawyer is right up my alley. Like, everything is about litigation for me. Everything is about fairness. But I was like, dang, it takes a long time to be a lawyer. That shit's expensive.
Right.
Yeah.
So I didn't take that path. I just went down the path of education. I became a teacher. I'm a 5th generation teacher.
Okay.
I think I did that out of convenience. But all of this time, like, I wouldn't say I was specifically funny, but in my family, like, we always family.
Sure.
Even my brother is extremely funny, so we're always capping on each other. And so as life kind of went on, I don't think I was ever super happy with what I wanted to do in life. And then I got married in 2009 in the Bay Area. We bought a house in Southern California. 2013, we decided to get divorced. And that's how I ended up moving here. So in September 2013, I moved here with me and my daughter. I do have an adult special needs daughter that I adopted out of foster care. So me and my husband were foster parents. And so she came to us as a teen foster kid. And I realized she wasn't going to have, like, someone had to take care of her. So I gave her that choice, and she chose me as her mom. So we came up here. 2017, I got married again to what I thought was the love of my life. He, and there's a trigger warning on this, especially for you, but he was a fantastic man in a lot of ways. He was also bipolar. He was undiagnosed. He was using drugs and alcohol. Once I realized what that was, I was like, we can fix this. We can get you help. Yeah. And I was trying to, like, nudge him into that. And October 7th, 2018, he had a psychotic break, and he stabbed me.
Oh, damn.
9 times.
Whoa.
Yeah. And he actually got arrested for homicide. That was his initial charge, which is a very surreal feeling.
Yeah.
It's a very surreal feeling to look up on, like, King County, jail roster and see your husband's name and a homicide charge and be like, I'm here.
Right.
I spent 35 days at Harborview living. And that changed everything for me. I was in the middle of being the chair for the Democrats at the time. And when that got to be too much and I felt very unappreciated, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And it was in that moment that I was like, I always thought I was funny, but a risk taker is not something that I would have said I was, right? Okay. So I was like, maybe I should try this. Mm-hmm. It seemed very scary and very daunting. And it's not because I'm not used to speaking in front of people, because that's I'm comfortable with. I'm comfortable with being a leader. I'm comfortable with a lot of things, but being funny like that, I didn't know the formula. So I went to Nate Jackson's one night after a barbecue. A bunch of people at the barbecue were like, hey, that's the homie. Like, tell him I said, what's up? So I went up to Nate Jackson and I shook his hand and I said, my name's Allison Fine. So-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so said, what's up? Just trying to, like, orient him to the fact that, like, we knew some common people. I said, I think I want to try comedy. I don't know what to do. And he goes, open mic every Tuesday, 8:00. Start studying. And so that was June 2021. Okay. So I started going every single Tuesday. I didn't tell anybody what I was doing, where I was going. I just went by myself. I sat in the back. I took notes. I started to figure out who players were. Because I'm older. I was almost 43 at that point. So I would look at bigger things, like how the club ran and, different. I looked at much bigger things than just the comedy part. And then Nate had a class. He had 3 or 4 different, like, classes that he taught for a while right before he kind of exploded. And he asked me if I got in the first one, and I was like, no, I didn't see the email. So I signed up for the second one. My mom was in town, and the week before the class started, and I was like, oh, this is my chance. I'm just going to go up there and try it once. I wanted to get a bucket spot, which is like where you're not on the list. You just get pulled from the bucket. Me and my mom showed up. I'm telling her, let's just go to open mic. I don't tell her anything about the plan. And then Nate knew I wanted to go up. He knew my plan. He walks in, he goes, you ready? And I was like, bro, the class before mine, the next night, that Wednesday, was their graduation class. So they were all there trying to get bucket spots too. So there's like 40 people there. I was like, there's no way I'm getting one of these 5 spots. And so I was like, bro, you got to see that bucket list. Like, yes, I'm ready.
Right.
Sure, if I get pulled. He's like, hold on. So he goes to the person who was like organizing the open mic at the time. And he comes back and shows me the list. He just put me on it.
He was like, this is it.
Yeah, I mean, he knew what I wanted to do. He knew my mom was in town. He knew all of those things. He knew I wanted to get it kind of off my chest before we started the class.
Nice.
So Sween One, who's a very, very popular comic out here, an OG, he was hosting that night. I'm sitting with my mom like this. And so Sween calls me. And now I'm extra nervous because now I know I'm going, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't just chance. He calls my name. My mom was like, what? And I was like, by the way. So I went up there. I did whatever I did. I read it off my phone, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember. I still have it written in my phone, to be honest. But the only thing I do remember is at the very end. I mean, you guys go to Nate's to orient anybody who's just watching and doesn't know. Nate's is a black club, I suppose is what they would call it, just because Nate's black, which is weird. But anyways, there's a lot of black folks in the audience. So I remember at the end, I just said, like, thank you guys so much for being an amazing audience. This is my very first time even trying this. You know, my mom is here. I'm so lucky. She's here from California, blah, blah, blah. So they clap. And I said, but before I go, I really want to make sure that you guys know something about white culture, because this is a misconception that people have. So I'm going to clear it up for you right now. Like, I think a lot of people think that when our parents die, our parents leave us money and houses and just dowries. And that's not how it works. When my mom dies, she's going to leave me a really big Mickey Mouse collection. And my mom, without thinking from the audience, goes, sure am.
She's like, you did right.
Yeah, it's true. My mom it's an obsession. It's an obsession. So, and that was that. I mean, I was like, I'm here for it. So I started this class. I grew up, my mom was a wedding planner growing up, like both before and after she became a teacher. And I'm older. I've set up events. I've done lots of things. So almost immediately I started running shows. Not because I was funny, but because that would just give me more opportunity to do shows. Also, I live in Federal Way. It's hella dry for entertainment. So I did a couple of shows at Jersey's the first time. Okay. They started getting weird, so I was like, we're not doing this no more. Oh. That wasn't on me, though. I was bringing them like 80 people, and they didn't want to like make the non-paying people go into the outside in the back, which is heated and dry. And I'm like, well, I'm not letting people see my show for free.
I've been in places where they're doing a show and people come up. Maybe this is now in a different place. Like, are you here for the show? $10.
Right, exactly.
I'm like, okay.
They weren't supportive of that. It was cool. It was they like created a little stage. They put a little black, backdrop up. Like they were supportive in that way. But I was like, I'm not letting 30 people sit back here for free.
Right, exactly.
If they want to come in and buy a drink or whatever, cool. But like, no, they shouldn't get to do what other people are paying $15 for or whatever. Exactly. So I ran that show only 2 or 3 months. It was pretty dope. Nate came to one of the shows. That's cool. And actually, did a little guest spot. That was very supportive of him. And then I started the Open Mic Collective. Yeah. So the Open Mic Collective was just me saying, we need more time down here in South King County and Pierce County. Right at the time, you had one Tacoma Comedy Club and you had Nate's, and that's two mics a week or 3 mics a week is not enough. Right. So how do I build a space? But I don't want to be stuck in a room every day by myself. I don't want it to be me every Wednesday having to run the show. So I said, why don't I get newer comedians? Because you kind of come in waves, in classes, especially for us because we were like post-pandemic. Okay. So I had a few people that started around the time I did, a few senior comedians that were, had either done it through a pandemic or were coming back. think there's 6 or 7 of us. And then I just put an ad on Facebook and I was like, hey, I'm trying to do a thing. Do you have a bar or a restaurant or a library or a hair salon or that we could do a thing?
Right.
Right from the beginning. I come from a union family. I believe everyone should get paid. So I won't work with a space that's not going to give me money.
Okay.
Even if it's $100, $100 a week. So I could pay the host
Right.
and I could pay the closer. We always had a closer. We didn't just had 25, brand new comedians.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We also would put out a form for this month during September for October.
Okay.
And you would tell us which mics you would want to go, and we would curate the lists. And then we would make posters. So if you are familiar with the Open Mic Collective, if you look us up on Instagram, you see each location has a different looking flyer, and we would edit that flyer every week. So people, like you are a brand new comic, but you're coming to do your little 5 minutes at one of our mics, you have something you can put on your social media. That's not just a list. It's a cute little flyer.
Yeah.
We also always paid, the host was one of us from the group, like the producer group. And then the closer was either someone that was in town or someone that we picked or someone we saw growing,
cool.
someone that we saw, they maybe didn't have 15, 20 minutes yet, but we would watch them. And when they would, get there, we'd be like, you ready to stretch?
Yeah.
And it was great for us because we would get, if you were hosting, you got 10, 15 minutes, whatever you wanted to do really up top.
Right.
So that's a lot more than a regular open mic. And then as producers, if I'm hosting, but you're another producer and you walk in, you're going to get time automatically because you're part of the collective, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I ran that for about 2.5 years. It got a lot of interesting feedback behind my back, apparently.
Oh.
Which is very comedy. I mean, it's people in general, I guess, but it's very comedy. Comedy's very political, very high school politics at times. We collect tips at the collective, and unless it's an absorbent amount of tips, we keep the tips at the collective and we put it into a bank account, and we would use that to pay. Like if you're coming up from Portland, but you're bringing another comic, the money we were getting from the bar would pay for you, but we had a little money set aside we could pay for you too.
Okay.
So we'd have 2 features that night, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
Or again, I come from a union family. I think everyone deserves to get paid for their time. So I did all the administrative work. So I would pay myself a whopping $20 a month. This isn't a salaried position.
Right.
We would create those posters. And so whoever was doing the posters every month, I'd pay them $20 a month or something. Like it was not nobody was getting rich off this.
Right.
But I think that the people that were doing the work should get a little bit of money for their time. Number one, I think I've heard recently that people thought I was pocketing the tips, which is hilarious because I'm like, well, I was very upfront about what we did.
Right.
We talked about it every show. We said these tips go back to the collective.
Right.
We use this for marketing. We use this for other things.
Right.
So the fact that people want to think that, like, well, did you ever ask?
Yes.
Did you ever pay attention? Did you just make an assumption? I don't know.
So how do you expect us to grow if we're not putting it back towards the people that
and
are
there are other
involved?
people
Right.
that have different philosophies. There are people that are like, I think the tips should just go to the comedians. There's a guy up in Seattle, Fremont, Ballard kind of area. He runs a bunch of shows. All of the tips, he runs them as kind of competitions.
Okay.
And so at the end of the night, he splits all the tips with the top 5 people or whatever, which
Okay.
is fine. That's his choice.
Yeah, that's how he runs it. That's
Yeah.
Right.
The thing is, I closed down we paused the Open Mic Collective June of 24
Okay.
because I was having a hysterectomy. And at the end of the day, I needed to take care of myself.
Right.
And we had 2 rooms that were kind of naturally kind of dying out and a 3rd room that the guy was doing some remodeling. So we just closed the Open Mic Collective at the time. I have a bank account. If anybody wants to see, those of you who like to talk shit,
Oh my.
I have a bank account that's literally got $1,600 sitting in it.
Yeah.
That if we never open up the Open Mic Collective again, I'll probably just distribute it amongst the producers, at some point, the
Right.
last group of producers. But I think we're about to run some open mics soon. At one point, we had 14 open mics and 2 shows a month that we were running.
That's dope.
Yeah, I remember the show we went to. There were a lot of comics that came down.
Yeah.
And went through that on that one particular night. And some were great and some weren't. And that's what open mics are about.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself out there. You're doing your first, maybe it's your first, maybe it's your second. And I appreciate anybody who, as you mentioned, has that courage or takes the risk to put themselves out there to do some comedy. I thought it was great. I enjoyed it.
I was just creating space.
Yeah.
So the fact that anybody had something negative to say to me was so weird.
Yeah,
well, I'm sorry. They never said it to me.
It's exposure. It's, practice too to perfect their art. And
the idea that they thought that I was like making money off of it. The only time I ever made money is if I hosted or I closed, which I think I closed one room one time in 2.5 years. I was never the closer. I didn't highlight myself.
You were the host at the time. I believe
I
you were
hosted
the
a lot,
host
yeah.
at the A Street when we saw you there.
A Street was fun. People still to this day miss A Street because that place was so dope.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
It
A
just
Street was
sucked I
fun.
didn't get there till I felt late.
So I know you're doing the events and you have that background, but you're also tonight, which it doesn't matter to anybody who watches this, you're going to go perform, right?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have two sides. So Allie Real Funny AF,
Yeah.
that's my social media handle for me as a comedian. I have an LLC, which is called A Fine Company. An A Fine Company has Allie Real Funny AF as a DBA. It has I'm Fine Entertainment as a DBA. Now that's my production side.
Okay.
So like the place I'm doing tonight, which is a place in Seattle, I'm co-producing with another producer.
cool.
But when you look at that flyer, you don't see Allie Real Funny AF. You see I'm Fine Entertainment.
Yeah.
And then I also have underneath there Fine Ideas and Fine Consulting because I do other work. But they all fall under A Fine Company. Nice. And so, yeah, I mean, I am a comedian and a producer. And there's a lot of us that do that. I don't think they all do it at my level or as much as I do. But it's one way to control your own career in a lot of ways is to produce your own shows. It's just also a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's stressful.
You talked about your influences in obviously the family coming through, and then your experience with Nate Jackson and thinking you might want to do comedy, doing the class,
Yeah, that's where I
right? And then
started.
getting up there.
He's my comedy dad. He hates when I say that. He hates when I say that because I'm older than him.
Hey,
But
Daddy's. I don't
is.
think Daddy has an. It's a spirit.
But
rather
he's
than
not
age.
gay. But we about to talk about daddy.
That's a callback in comedy. That's what they call that.
Exactly.
No, yeah, I mean, no, he really is. He's one of my mentors in some ways. I mean, I definitely don't get the mentorship I wish I could.
Yeah.
I mean, like I know you had Trenton on here, and Trenton is so lucky. Trenton has such a great skill set that he got tapped by Nate, and now he's got access to Nate Jackson, 24/7 basically. I don't have that, but when I did want to run my first show, I did it at Nate Jackson's, and I went upstairs in the old spot, and he was like, "This is what you do, and this is how you do it." And he's Nate's really hard on me. Nate can be very hard on me, and he's not. I think it's a lot of tough love with me. Because I'm hard-headed, so.
Well, one thing I've been thinking about with comedians, we go to the shows, we see a lot of comedians, and so you have union background. There's a lot. You have a deep history. You said Catholic. There's a lot.
My dad was Catholic.
You're not though.
No,
but still, you grew up in that. With
I
all
grew up.
this influence.
Well, my dad was Catholic. My mom was Christian. With a Jewish heritage.
Okay.
Like I'm wearing a Star of David because my family's Russian Jewish on my mom's side. But they just grew up kind of generally Christian. And then they married. My dad being the oldest and my mom being the oldest, that was not good for my grandparents on the Catholic side. You know what I'm saying? It's effectively like if your parents don't want you to marry a white woman, you know what I'm saying? But you're like, but I love white
Too
bitches.
late.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that you can't control that, right?
Yeah.
So obviously I wasn't there. This is pre me, but I talk about it from stage. I'm like, yeah, according to my parents, it was like, I'll tell you, it was like the Bloods and the Crips. For the white people in the audience, the Targaryens and the Lannisters.
I didn't get it. No, I do. No, actually, this is our
For the old white
Game
people in the audience, the Hatfields and the McCoys. Usually that
go.
covers.
There you go.
Got
Yeah,
it.
my grandparents my my grandmother, my dad's mother was
Yeah.
beefing because my
Yeah.
mom wasn't Catholic.
Well, I get curious on like people's perspective and their like what they bring into their comedy. Like obviously you want to make jokes, you want to make people laugh, and if people aren't laughing, then you're not doing the job right. But there's so much else that can go into it, and people have different perspectives. I saw Carlin. I was watching a clip of Carlin, and he had a perspective.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And then I'm watching other people, and I'm like, I don't know, like, do you have a perspective? You don't have. Do you think you have to have a perspective? I think everybody has to have a perspective, but something is so out there as like George Carlin or other people. Like, what do you think?
I mean, I think there's so many different types of comedians that do
Sure.
different types of comedy, right? So I think George Carlin, I mean, he did political work.
Absolutely.
Right?
It was
Everything he
political.
said had a message.
Yeah.
Not everything, but a lot of things he said had a message. And it was seeped in politics and like, get your head out of your ass and stop being a sensitive little, like, I wish we had George Carlin alive today, but I think you have someone like Kevin Hart who it's more about his style that is consistent, or an image like Cat Williams. I mean, Cat Williams will never not be a pimp, right? Like that's just his image.
Yeah.
And then you have people that shift and adjust as they age. I think,
Sure.
the things that. If you watch like old Bill Burr and new Bill Burr,
Yeah,
like
that's
Bill
what I
Burr
was
is one of
gonna
my
say.
favorites. My favorite comedian is actually a woman out of Canada named Steph Tolive. She's a killer. She's a tough girl. In fact, Nate was just top 10 comedian to look for Variety up at JFL in Montreal. Steph was on that list too.
Nice.
So it was very cool to see them, which is funny. Somebody 24 years in the game like Nate being new.
Right.
But yeah, Steph Tolive is really funny, but I really like Bill Burr. I like his style, right? So sometimes it's your style that's very specific. I mean, I'm still new, so I'm still finding my voice. I think my voice is really real life. I don't do a lot of political stuff, which is weird because I come from politics.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I don't think I have
interesting.
the
Got
art
it.
yet.
Okay.
I don't think I have figured out how to do that successfully.
Sure.
I appeal to more middle-aged white women than I wish I did.
Or maybe is that not a good thing? Maybe who knows?
I mean, it's a good thing for my career.
Okay.
It's just weird. It's
Why-
just
why-
weird
why-
for me. Because
Why
I
do you
didn't grow
wish-
up with white
Right. She's
women.
like, I don't relate. I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
But-
Their shit is funny. Like as an example, I did a show in Redmond,
Okay, got
and the
it,
closer,
Redmond.
the closer was Jackie Turgison, and she does all mom humor. We're very different. Jackie is like Gildner Radner.
Yeah, she was at the roast battle, right?
Yeah, she did one of them. Yeah,
I think so.
she always has them pants pulled up all the way.
Oh, okay.
She's like an SNL character. Like she's
Yeah.
She
yeah,
twerked.
there's-
She was the
there's-
twerker.
Yeah,
she was
well, I don't.
She
was
was
doing something.
she was middle-aged
tried.
white woman,
Yeah.
Redmond woman
Entertaining.
twerking.
I don't know if that's twerking or what's that girl? The cartoon, the one that looks like
Bob's
Daria.
Burgers.
Yeah, the Bob's
my
Burgers
God.
chick. Yeah.
It's more the back's working.
Yeah,
the
it's
back's
more like
working. There ain't much butt. The back's working.
But her niche is like mom humor,
Gotcha.
right?
Yeah.
So we were going to Redmond for a really fun producer, Roseanne LaForce, and it was a ladies' night out show.
Okay.
And I was just excited to be there, right? I was the feature. I liked the other people that were on the show. It was going to be a good time. And then I got there, and I'm like, I'm in Redmond. And everyone here is like, oh, they're all white. I mean, there was like literally one black woman in the whole room,
Sounds about
couple old Asian chicks, and mostly I would say the average age was probably in their 50s, and I was like, these women are going to hate me.
Bunch
Like
of
they are not going to like me at all.
Microsoft wives.
Yeah,
Right.
it just didn't feel like my vibe.
Gotcha.
And so the opener, who's also she does a lot of mom humor. Her name is Anne. She's very super smart writer. She goes up. They liked her. I go up, and the first thing I remember is I have a top on, like a blouse. I think I was wearing a blouse and maybe pants, maybe a skirt, and it was like a cheetah print or something, right? So I said, like, let's just talk about the elephant in the room. I ain't from here, y'all. Like, I'm not a Redmond type of bitch.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a Federal Way type of bitch, by way of the Bay Area type of bitch. And I kept using that as a callback. Like, when something would happen, I'd be like, I told y'all I ain't from here. And I said, but I did wear my best cougar outfit so I could be relatable. And I think I'm good at riffing in that way.
Okay.
So audiences like me from the beginning, even if I'm not like them, right?
Gotcha.
One of the other things I remember from that particular set was I do a joke about smoking weed and taking gummies. I'm not going to tell the joke, but I do say, like, where are we at with the weed, you guys? Are we a weed crowd or are we not? And it was like a smattering of claps, right? And I was like, first of all, okay, sure. And I'm like, well, to be honest, I don't even smoke weed anymore. Like, I have a throat issues. It kind of messes with my throat. But I do take gummies. I don't know where you guys are at with those. Still pretty quiet.
Right.
And I said, and one night I took 4. And now the whole room goes, oh, shit. And like so many people responded. I said, I knew you bitches smoked weed. And I just went on like 30 seconds. I'm like, you lying ass old white bitches. Like, I knew, right? And like nobody wanted to clap when I said that. But all of a sudden, you knew too many was too many. Like, and so those kind of like moments, I'm really good at seizing those moments.
Okay.
Again, I'm a child of Nate Jackson, right? Like, I like not necessarily crowd work per se. I don't think I'm all that great at that yet, but I'm good at riffing. I'm good at taking a moment and just acknowledging it when it happens. Yeah. And they f***ing loved me.
That's awesome.
They love me. A lot of them were like, you are our favorite person tonight. And that made me feel good. And that prompted another joke. There was a lady who walked in, swear to God, she had a sport jacket on, and her down the arm it said Teslas of Washington. And right here it said President Teresa.
Jeez.
So
wow.
Now I write a joke about how I didn't know Redmond had gangs. You know what I'm saying?
Dang, don't mess with Teresa.
Right. But and actually she walked in. I riffed that with her sitting in the room. I didn't know where she sat. She was actually at the bar, but I didn't realize that. And I said at one point, I said, yo, I didn't know y'all had gangs out here. And I said, like, I come from Federal Way. I grew up in, wherever I grew up, like, most of my friends is Bloods and Crips. I said, but I did not know Redmond had gangs. And not even the Asian gangs. Yeah. I said, y'all got white women gangs. And, of course, they're like, what are you talking about? Right. And I said, this lady walked in. I don't know where she went. And I hope she's not going to stab me later. But she had a jacket, and I read it, and they were dying. And then afterwards, she was like, oh, my God, you were so funny. You couldn't riff on me anytime. Like, awesome. She was very, like, appreciative of that. So I think that my humor, I do a lot of stuff about my special needs kid, where she's the winner in those stories. I do a lot of, one of my merch jokes is about my mom gaslighting me. It's a joke about her beating me with a wooden spoon, and then she lied and said that never happened, and then just
ain't that shit crazy?
I know
all the stuff you bring up to your parents.
That
never happened.
That's
what?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Is the whole joke is about how she gaslit me, and that turns into a piece of merch that I have, which is an air freshener, that talks about. So it's hard to like explain that without
just buy the merch.
Yeah, for real. Come to buy the merch. And then the other thing I talk about a lot, again, I think just real life is my niche. Like, I talk about being old, but being hip still. Like I don't feel like I'm almost 47.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means. I'm almost 38 and. Shit, man.
He gay and alive.
I was thinking it. I was thinking
lying like that is something a gay would do.
Oh, gay motherfucker. Right.
He's like, I'm 28. Hello for the 37th time.
Someone to say something.
Yeah. I talk about my age a lot. I talk about my weight a lot. I have a joke about looking young. I talk about my age. I want to get more into my experience as a white person in black spaces, I have some jokes like that, but it's also about reading your room. I'm not doing that in Redmond in front of white women.
Right.
Yeah.
They won't even get it.
Yeah.
You know, like that's one thing I am good at is being able to read the room. I don't know, take this however you want to, but I want to be a black comic in that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, not every comic can do well in front of black rooms, as a white person. I tend to do that because I know I can code switch with the best of them, is what I'm saying. You feel me? And so, you know, I know how to what jokes to tell in front of that room or what to say in front of that room and not do in a different room. But I'm still learning so much. Yeah. Honestly, I'm still learning so much. I've had some opportunities. There's a comic in Canada. His name's Sterling Scott. He actually was a finalist on Canada's Got Talent. Okay. He was here at Nate's for some random thing that I happened to be on. And he went up right after me as the closer. And afterwards, I was like, bro, how long have you been doing comedy? And he was like, 16 years. You? I said, I'm not going to tell you. Because he was like, just tell me. Right. He was like, you're funny. He was like, just tell me. And I said, 18 months. And he said, no way. Really? And I was like, yeah. And he said, your stage presence is crazy. He actually was watching me enough that he actually I don't like the word mock, but he repeated what I did and a couple things I said, which is crazy because he went on right after me.
Imitation.
Thank you. He imitated. There you go. But he did that, and he said, Allison, the jokes will come, but your stage presence, you have it in you. Nice. He was like, that's dope. And he ended up outside of Nate's. We closed that place down, and we stood outside for probably an hour and a half. He just gave me game, and that was in March 23. And then in November, he brought me up to Canada.
That's dope.
Nice.
And so I spent 9 days. We did 14 different stages. Whoa. We did open mics. We did, he got me a guest set at a club, corporate gigs, oh, wow. We did everything.
That's cool.
It was one of the dopest experiences. And it just happened to be, I guess, but a lot of really cool comics were in town in Edmonton at the time. So there was another comic, in fact, the one I did the guest spot for, Michael Harrison. And so we've stayed in contact. And Michael was just here at the beginning of August. He was on a tour. He came up this direction. I got him on a show. Cool. And then he took me to Vancouver. And I did a couple shows in Vancouver with him. And then I came home. But Michael's been doing this 16, 17 years. Right? So he heard me a couple of times. And he was giving me perspective on my jokes, on my delivery, on everything. It was very cool.
That's dope. I like that.
And it was crazy because we were driving to Canada. We were having this conversation about structure. Mm-hmm. And by the time we got to Canada, when he saw me that night, I had already flipped it. And he was like, damn. And I was like, I listen.
So I'm a quick learner.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And you're you do this and this is how you pay your bills. Yeah. So why am I not going to listen to somebody? Right. I can be discerning. Right. If it's a tag that's not for me, I'm not going to use it. Right. But his ideas were deeper than that. They were perspective issues and things like that.
You talked about reading the room. I do a lot of public speaking for my job, and I just throw funny things in there, or at least I think they might be funny. Yeah. And I used to do this thing where we have this Pledge of Allegiance for our company, very indoctrination-like. And I would be like, here's the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, would everybody stand? And it's just I'm just making them nervous. Right. I don't want anybody to stand, but I put it in there, and all the people who are raised in America get that. And then I was doing this at the airport in front of a bunch of people who are not from America. And I said that, and I was like, oh, well, that didn't work.
Yeah.
And I realized because they're not born and raised with the Pledge of Allegiance.
They don't have perspective.
Yeah. Right. I was like, that was dumb. But I learned. I bombed hard that day. Oh, but I was like, okay, so know your audience and how you fit that in.
I just did a competition at Laughs, which is in the U District. Okay. I'm a past comic there, so I work there fairly regularly. But they don't have open mics; they do showcases. So at one point, you have to audition. If you get passed, then you're eligible to come back and do these showcases. It's pretty cool. And they're usually longer sets, so it's nice. So Mason A, I don't know if you're familiar with Mason A, but he's a comic primarily in Tacoma. Okay. We were on the competition together, and the way the competition was is our pictures were on these papers. And at the end, you had to pick your top 3, and those people went on to the finals. Mason A went bullet, so he went first, and I went right after Mason. And Mason gets up and immediately goes, y'all look at them papers. Like, I'm the only black person on there. If y'all don't vote for me, like right out the gate, right?
Oh, man.
Now, Mason is mixed though, right? And he's very like light skin, curly hair, obvious mix, right? So he goes, he does his shit, he gets off. I go up after him. Now I'm a riffer, right? I host a lot. I love hosting because you can like talk after every single person and practice that skill. So I go, give it up for Ace and May. I met Mason A. I love him so much. I said, I think it was absolutely authentic of him how he begged for your vote, right? I think because he was black. I said, but then the thing is, he's so light skinned. He went on to tell that joke and say library 15 times. Now that joke in Seattle, like they hated it.
Really?
Because when I did my next joke was with my normal opener, their asses were so tight. Now in Tacoma, that would have killed.
Right.
Because they get it. You know what I'm saying? He did. He made it. His joke, he said library instead of library the whole time. First of all, I know that mother knows it's library.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why he's using that particular version. You know what I'm saying? But in Tacoma, that would have murdered. Because I called him out on that, right? Like he had to prove he was black by using that version. But in Seattle, they were like, "Oh, racist white lady alert!" Like you could just see it. Now that's a learning experience, right? Yeah. That was me not reading the room well.
Yeah. Who was the audience?
In
Was
laughs,
it white?
yeah, laughs is pretty white.
Sure.
I'm always impressed though, because I think that takes a lot of skill to be that witty. Because there's one thing to walk into a room and look around and say, okay, this is where I believe my crowd is. But it's another thing to be performing and then having to kind of maneuver while performing at the same time. I think
that's where that comes from, like growing up with black people, though.
Okay.
I mean, you got to be quick. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's talking shit. If you a fat white girl and you not, you know what I'm saying? Like they're on your head. Like they treat you like a dude.
Yeah.
So you have to be witty. You have to be funny, or they're just gonna clown you. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, even if they're your friends, at a certain point, your feelings get hurt, right?
Just like
at a certain point. So yeah, you have to be though. But it serves me well. Like I saw Lil Wayne.
How do you say it, money?
Damn it.
What?
It's sometimes I get.
Just say it. Give it to us.
Did you say little?
No, you can't do it. You can't do it.
You can't say Lil Wayne.
You can't do
No,
it.
it's just sometimes I enunciate. I try really hard. So right now I can't say Lil Wayne. There.
Oh, you did it. Proud of the black guy.
It didn't feel like it rolled off the tongue.
He does say library though.
Of
He does say library.
Yes.
That's hilarious, actually.
You know, sometimes my code switch doesn't work. It's just it gets stuck.
That's hilarious. I can't switch back.
I can't switch right now.
I work so much overtime.
Exactly.
White people are
I'm in
mad.
work mode.
Oh, being witty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we were getting on the elevator at the parking garage, and there was 2 girls on, me and my 2 homeboys I was with, and then one homeboy like holds the door open to the elevator to let this guy, apparently his wife and their friend, get on, right? But we held the elevator so long, now it's beeping. So the guy that just got on goes, "Oh, is there 2?" Like his wife's a big girl, I'm a big girl, right? No. The dude is like, "Oh, he said, oh, is there? Why is it beeping? Is there too much weight in this elevator?" Oh shit! I was standing behind the dude, right? So he's facing out, and I'm sitting. I said, "Look, motherfucker, it's beeping because we let y'all get on the elevator. Don't blame it on the big. Do not blame it on the big. Me and your wife are not the reason that." I said, "If anything, your head is big enough." You know what I'm saying? So we're laughing. We end up getting off at the same stop. We actually were parked next to each other. So I turned around in my backpack and I gave him like my sticker that had my, I said, "I'm actually a comedian." He goes, "You're hella funny." And so like I gave him my sticker and then they follow me on social media.
That's dope.
So being witty in the moment.
Yeah.
But also I'm big enough that people won't beat me up. Because sometimes I say, and I think people, when they don't know I'm a comedian, they be like, "Damn, this bitch is mouthy."
Mouthy.
I'm like, okay.
I love it.
It's okay.
Right.
I'm okay. But can you still follow me on social media though?
Yeah. Right.
That's the worst part of comedy.
I love it.
Well, I got other questions here to ask. We know what you got coming up next. So we know tonight you're performing. What other things you got going on?
When does this air?
It's gonna be after. It's gonna be like next week sometime.
On the 20th of September, I am starting a new show at Charlie's in Puyallup.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Charlie's is a really great restaurant. It's been there
Yeah.
forever. A couple years ago, they got new management, new owners specifically, James and Stephanie. And James is an amazing chef, and the food there is so good. And they have a whole banquet room in the back.
Yep.
So I actually know where the bartenders, and she was like, "We should be doing comedy." So it took a few months to like iron out all the details. But Mike Hansen, he's actually from Puyallup. He's gonna headline that show. I'm gonna host it. We have a whole bunch of a great lineup. And that's gonna be a monthly show on the third Saturday of every month.
Third Saturday.
Okay.
Except for December because they got too many big ones.
Holidays.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
So we have September, October, November booked out, and then we'll come back in January. The next week, the 26th, I bring back my Buddy's Chicken and Waffles show. So over at Buddy's Chicken and Waffles, which is in the Lincoln district of Tacoma, Buddy's has amazing food, and he's very supportive of comedy. I actually met him. He took Nate's class too at once. He's very funny. And so we do a show there. I close it for the summer because summer's really hard to do comedy.
Yeah.
So we're opening that back up, and Bo Blast is actually my headliner at Buddy's Chicken and Waffles, and it's cool. It's like you can order up until 7:30, and then the show starts at 8. So you can come, you can get your food, hang out, and Buddy has a little bar. Nice. And so that's fun. I'm in talks. There's a space in Tacoma. I'm going to be a little cryptic here, but I think we're going to call it the Attic, and we're looking at how to legally do some shows where you can smoke inside. It's a private event space.
That's cool.
And you can smoke inside at a private event.
Okay.
So it's really just going to be how we find people and how we market the event.
Sure.
Because you could still charge people to come to a private event,
Right.
but it can't be a public event, or we
Gotcha.
could have some legal issues there.
Gotcha.
So that's coming. And then what else? This show at Dock Street Grill should be a regular show.
Okay.
I also just Tacoma Comedy Club, the small club, 6th Ave.
Okay.
They asked me to produce an all queer comedy show, which I did last Saturday. They do a brunch show every Saturday
Was
at
that
2:30.
the Cheers?
Cheers with Queers, yeah.
Okay.
And I sold it out.
That's dope.
So it was 110 people. It was an amazing time.
I only know because I was on her social media.
Hey, man.
Gay. Yeah, I mean, it was really a great time.
Yeah.
It was very interactive. I have a drag queen, and it was a absolute hit. And I'm smart. I'm smart about marketing. It's called Cheers with Queers because at one point we did a cheers with the audience, right? So we sold.
go.
They ran out of shot glasses. You know what I'm saying? I had a
There you go.
tiny little budget
That's cool.
for this first one, but I bet I won't the next time.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Because I made it very lucrative for the bar. I mean, for Tacoma Comedy Club. So hopefully I'll be doing that regularly as a producer. And then a couple places, Halcyon Brewery, which is in Greenwood. Probably going to start running a show there. And then probably a mic at the Hill City Tap House, which is Columbia City. One guy owns both places.
Okay.
So we're probably doing some stuff there. All of it will be on my social media. But then I just do regular comedy too. You know, like I'm in a festival in Bellingham in October called the Laughing Hamster Festival. I'm doing one of their queer shows. It's a whole week thing, but look it up, Laughing Hamster Bellingham. Shout out to Nikki Kilpatrick, who runs that. And then on the 24th of this month, I'm the feature at Voyeur. They have a mic, and I'm the closer. It's called Vomity. It's been around for years. Actually, Sam Miller started it years ago.
Where's that?
It's called the Voyeur. It's like a restaurant, bar, brewery. I don't know what y'all do here. Put everything into one. But a lot of on that main street, I want to say it's 4th. I could be wrong. In Olympia,
Okay.
a lot of those restaurants are like there's something in the front, but then they have like little theaters in the back.
Yeah.
So this is one of the ones with the theater. So I've done it once before. Theirs is more like a cave, but it's very cool. So I'm the feature there. Sherry Hardman, who's another really funny comedian, one of my mentors, she just asked me to feature for her on a little tour in March. So we're going to end up in San Diego at Mic Drop, which is a really great club, but we're gonna do a bunch of stuff going there and back.
Nice.
So yeah, do a lot of
active. That's awesome.
yeah. I mean, I'm trying.
Right.
You know, comedy is hard.
Yeah.
Comedy is hard, and like I said, it's not everybody likes everybody, and
Right.
so if you have a space and you don't like somebody, you're not booking them in those spots. So there's certain places certain people that don't want to book me because they just don't like me as a person.
Right.
Certain people I don't book, I guess. So it doesn't, it is what it is. But if you want to, this is what I want to do forever.
So
That's
what I was going to say. I'm glad you just said that because I was going to say this is going to sound kind of cliche, but what is your end goal with this? But you just said it. You're like, you want to do this forever.
Yeah.
You want to do this till
I think this is something that I could see myself doing forever.
That's awesome.
There are times where I'm like, I'm too old. There are times where like I have a bad back. There are days where my back goes out. I can't even walk. Like, is this sustainable? And then I meet somebody like, Susan Rice, who's out of Portland. She's like 108 years old and just funny as all get out. Still racking up numbers on don't tell clips and
Yep.
and then I just met a comedian named Shelly Belly. She's like country as all get out, and she's like early 60s. She's only been doing comedy 5 years. She has 300,000 followers on Instagram. And I met her between shows, and she brought me back to the green room, and it was just like, oh, honey, you were definitely not too old. Even Nate, when last time I was messaging with Nate, and I was like, I feel old, and he said 2 words, Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac didn't start till his 50s, so.
There you go.
There you go.
I always forget about that too, but yeah, I mean,
Bernie Mac, Rodney Dangerfield, there's a lot of people. Even Joan, what's her
Rivers?
name? Yeah, Joan Rivers didn't start till she was
I
older.
feel like with comedy though, it has that platform where you don't have to be a specific age when you start. You can kind of come into it when you're ready, prepared.
I think young
You think young's
is
better?
beneficial.
Well, yeah,
I think being pretty is beneficial.
okay.
If we're the same level of comic, she's going to get booked before me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the
Because she
politics
fits an
side
aesthetic.
of it. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Gotcha.
thanks.
That's just, that's just real. Like, I'm
Right,
just a realist that way, right?
Right.
Like, I don't fit a certain aesthetic. So that I've seen people who are less funny than me get booked
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
for aesthetic purposes.
Yeah.
And honestly, I promise you guys, I'm not being an asshole. It's the way the brain works. Like, we're attracted to certain things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean plenty of people ain't attracted to me.
Right.
So I have no problem. You know what I'm saying?
She's like,
with that. What I'm saying is that men's brain, their brain is, we know men think with their eyes, right? And their but it starts with their eyes, right?
Right.
There's
goes
a direct
with the
connection,
And
like,
then it might make it up here. It
Right.
might.
so there are sometimes comics that are very good looking, and same thing goes. Look at Matt Rife. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you think Matt Rife with fucked up teeth and his original jaw would have been
That's
the
true.
Matt Rife he is today?
That's true.
Maybe. I don't think it hurts that
I guess we'll never know.
the glow up doesn't hurt, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel like I don't know. I'm also, I substitute teach. That's what I do for work for the most part, so I can have a flexible schedule. I'm actually in the middle right now of a class to become a peer support specialist, because of what I've been through, like with my mental health and my being adjacent to drugs and alcohol in the way that I have. And so I may end up doing that. Peer support specialist is a very up and coming kind of trendy. It's like social work without the degree. It's actually like being a peer to someone and helping them.
Right.
It's being a paid friend in some ways. It's not, they would hate me if they heard me say that, but so that may be something that I open up under my LLC, is be an independent version of that and do that for work. I still run campaigns for politics. And then maybe, hopefully, one day I'll just tell jokes.
Versatile. Versatile.
That's a goal.
That's awesome.
For me, I don't know. I don't have, I guess, as a direct path as somebody, but
Yeah.
I'm happy.
What advice do you have for others that are trying to get into? I mean, because you've really dove into this.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot in the entertainment comedy world.
Yeah.
So what advice do you have for others that are looking to do something like that?
I think study. Nate telling me to just sit there in those open mics and study. I mean, I did that for like from June to end of September.
Just
So
sit
the 4
there.
months,
Yeah.
just sitting there and watching, doesn't hurt. I think being open and receptive to feedback doesn't hurt in terms of our jokes. There are comedians in this scene that I absolutely adore,
Yeah.
but they are not funny. They have never been funny,
Yeah.
and they will never be funny if they don't say, hey, like, they're just not self-aware, first of all, enough to realize that people are not laughing at them. But I think if they were, and they said, and they asked people, like, help me, they would get further. So being open to feedback, asking for feedback, because people don't like feedback. Comics are fragile people.
Pride, ego.
Yeah, we are fragile. We are damaged, fragile people. So I think if people were more open to taking feedback and getting feedback, that guy, Chris Talbot, I was saying earlier up in the North End with the competitions, one of the shows he does is actually like a feedback mic. Like we all go up and then after the audience leaves, we sit around and talk and we give each other feedback, which is very cool.
That is.
It's very cool. Being open, studying, being humble. I came in with, one of the reasons some people don't like me is because I came in, I came out of politics. I'm a mom of a special needs kid. I'm queer. I came in with a set of morals that I was really strong about. Like I don't use the R word. I don't think we need to use the R word. I don't think anybody needs to use the R word. And I would openly say that to people. Like I don't think you're funny because I don't think that word is funny. And I know you don't mean it like that, but it doesn't matter. My daughter hears you say the R word.
Yeah.
You know, there's in an audience of 100 people, there's 10 autistic people that were called the R word their whole life and never advocated for themselves. So I don't like that word. But over the years, I've learned that I got in my own way with my opinion and my mouth. And so I still pay the price to this day. That's one of the reasons why some people still don't like me. Yeah. So as long as I'm doing the work.
There it is.
I don't care what you
Do
think.
the work.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Exactly.
That's in comedy and in life. You know?
This has been fun as fuck.
Yeah, this has been great.
Allison.
I know I have kind of a.
He's still
I know.
He said it normal, at least.
No, I think I got better. I think.
Allison.
You can just hear the thought, though. You heard the thought before you said it. Though.
Again, I kept looking, and I was always Allie. I even saw your thing with all your the LLC and this and that. But this is
he knows these days.
No, I will.
He's the researcher for sure.
Yeah.
I put that on my Instagram, right? I put
Yeah.
it.
was on
Yeah, I
yours,
put
yeah. I didn't go that deep.
No,
Background check.
No, I think I just recently put a screenshot of all my DBAs, right?
Yeah.
And I put still her or something.
Yes.
Yeah, something
That's
smart.
right.
This
was fun. It was great getting to know you, know more about you. Like since I saw the Open Mic Collective, I was really curious about it. And then seeing you there and then catching you at the Nate Jackson's premiere, I think that was some fun little synchronicity, is that what they call it? And getting you on here. I look forward to seeing you at some of these shows.
Yeah,
that's
we'd
so
love for you
awesome.
guys.
You got so much
Charlie,
going on down here in the
Yes.
south part and in Seattle, kind of really getting across the area codes here.
Well, I think there's 3 clubs in Tacoma, 3 clubs in Seattle, and then some event spaces in both too, right? But like cities like Puyallup don't have stuff.
Yeah.
So, the opportunity with Charlie's could be really big. So, I'm hoping people will support it and come out and have a good time with us every month. And I'll continue to give them good, fun comics and hopefully it'll be good. But you guys are welcome anytime.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know if you guys like podcasts outside of here or anything like that.
We're
We
trying
plan
to.
to. Yeah, we plan to.
It's on the list. We're still building up our courage to get there.
No, I mean, I think you guys were a podcast and then you kind of rebranded.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, the 2 of them, and then over the last year and some change, it became the 3 of us.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool. I mean, I've watched a lot of your clips with Fred and with some of the stuff with Trenton and some of the other stuff, and I think it's cool. I think anytime that you can help someone get their message out, their story out, whatever that is, that's really dope. And podcasting is fun.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
actually I had a podcast, Old Heads, Young Minds, with another comedian, and I'm getting ready to start another podcast. My friend Brandon Phillips. He's like 6'7". It's called Big Tall Loud.
Nice.
So that was the one that I had asked you about the equipment for, learning how to use it because we want to just do it ourselves. So.
Yeah. You don't need much. Like this is a lot. You don't need all. It doesn't take much.
Yeah.
And you got the courage to just get on there and do it. You already done it. I love your titles for your shows. Those are great.
What?
Old Heads, Young Minds.
Well, yeah, me and Robert, the
love
homie, we knew each other long before comedy. We actually used to just both drive Uber and Lyft together outside of our regular jobs.
Big, tall, loud.
Yeah. Well, Old Heads, Young Minds is because both of us, he's a little older than me, but we're very young. We're very hip hop still. We're very young for our age or whatever. And then Big Tall Loud it just fits the 2 of us. So I'm excited about that podcast. We both have big personalities.
We'll have links to your stuff down below.
Yeah,
and,
please.
We'll come out and support. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thank you for supporting live comedy. You guys come out a lot.
Yeah.
So.
We love Super Funny, but we definitely want to branch out and start going to more places.
Please. And if you're ever like, I know for me, because I'm an independent producer, if you guys ever, wanted to be a sponsor or something, like that's another way to cross promote. Yeah. Is, be a sponsor. And there's lots of things. Going to a big club is great. Yeah. Supporting the little guy, it's more impactful for sure. Okay. Because we're out here grinding. Yeah. I have a machine behind us. I got me.
I like that though.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on. This has been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate you.
You still have time.
We don't know how to end the show.
You still have time to come out.
Pretty much what
I know.
You can come out. You can come out if you want to. I mean, I
thought you meant come out to the show.
He likes just cracking that door a little bit, just kind of peeking out.
I'm just saying, we talked about
still
it.
There? Anyone's still there?
If Stacey's gay, like we're here for. We'll support you.
That's going to be a through line for the next year. Find out next season.
The gay episode. That's going to be the one everyone watches.
What will I be wearing? Who knows?
I have some thoughts about that. As long as you have clothes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
As long as you have clothes. So you guys don't know how to close your podcast?
No, I don't know what it is about us.
The thing with me is like I knew you had a show, but I kept thinking it was at 6, but now I realize it's at 8.
No,
I was like, I gotta get Allison on the road.
No.
They're trying to be respectful of people's time.
Kept thinking,
I appreciate it. Thank you for moving it up because I didn't realize that I had that conflict. So.
That's all good.
What do you do for a living?
Me?
Yeah.
Director of operations.
For what?
Import-export company.
She sells dope. Okay.
You know what? You're not the first person to say that.
Right.
Anybody who has that vague title.
Exactly right.
What are we importing?
We design product overseas, bring it in, then export it out.
You work for IKEA? Is that?
It's just we have like 9 different brands.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
So it's hard to kind of group it into one thing.
I don't do business stuff. I do human service stuff. So business stuff is like a foreign language to me. But and then what do you do for a living?
Kind of similar to her because we worked for the same company for a while.
That's how we know each other.
Yeah. So I just keep it simple. Warehouse manager.
So it's bigger than that. But what do you do? What do you do for a living?
Gay. What?
I knew it.
Gay prostitute. No, I work in restaurants. My fancy title is Corporate Director of Human Resources and Training.
Oh, he's HR.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? You wouldn't think it.
I think I'm starting a series of bad HR.
There probably already is like a podcast called that.
I know. It probably is.
HR is the worst, man.
Oh, tell me about it.
HR is so bad, we don't even have HR.
It's like, come. We don't need that department.
I don't know where she works. Don't work there. Don't work. Or maybe you can never get fired. They don't have HR.
That was probably my favorite part of working there. I was like, I can say whatever I want.
That's crazy.
It is.
That's crazy.
Got it. Get away with everything over there.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, HR. I mean, there's a reason for it.
Yeah, it has its purposes for sure.
But it's hard work. You shatter people's dreams for a living.
It's not what Yeah, it's what it is.
This is his release.
He's been firing people for years.
But no,
he's so calm about it. It's like,
no, actually, like I pass that on to department heads. That's their job.
You don't even do the work.
I don't.
He just sets it up. He just sets it up. It says,
You
"Here
don't
you
even
go.
do the work.
Here's the file."
Yep.
Just
He's
let him go.
He's like, you just gotta sign there.
Right.
I'll send security 315.
Right
Damn.
outside the door. Don't worry about it.
Stacey's a cold piece of work, bro. It's always interesting to see where podcasters come from. When they don't come from our world.
Yeah, no.
They don't come from entertainment, like how you guys ended up here. It's always interesting to me.
Well, I work in restaurants, so that is, in a sense, it's public facing. Like I'm always talking to people. And
even as HR, really?
No, I mean I work the floor too. So I've always been on the floor. So it's like everybody and we have dual purposes.
Got it.
It's not like some big company where it's just you got HR. Everybody's got. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like a peer and you fire them?
The worst.
Are you guys safe? Blink twice if you're not.
Right.
Money, I'm going to talk to you after this show.
That's right.
Right? No sandwich.
Hey, the GM of the regional manager of Tacoma Comedy Club did that to me this week. I'm in the middle of running that Cheers for Queer show, right? There's a lot of logistics. I'm nervous. It's a packed house. Halfway through, he's like, "How many minutes does this comic have?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know, maybe 10 left." He goes, "All right, go into the back office." I was like, "Oh no, what did I do?" He just needed people's names for their payouts.
Which is the way.
But he literally said, "The principal's office."
Yeah.
And I was like, this show is amazing. I don't know what we're complaining about. One, the paranoid, insecure woman in me, because
Yeah.
the one who was fat and the one who got made fun of. And when I say was fat, I realized I could see myself. Like, I still am fat. But I used to weigh like 500 pounds. You know what I'm saying? I got picked on my whole life. And you know, I'm still very insecure.
Yeah.
So the moment he said that, I was like, oh my God, what did I do? And he was just like, he didn't realize like how triggering that was for me, for him to say that. So I hope you don't do that. Come into my office.
Well,
And when you do, don't show the dick pics.
what do you think
That's a
about this?
callback.
Right.
That's a good callback.
I like it.
No, it's actually one of our code names is the Big Back Podcast. Apparently, it's a new thing for us.
Where'd that come from? I saw that somewhere.
Because we got
It was
big
from
backs.
one of our shorts too, but people called us out on it. But I have gone through. You talked about weight. I've gone through being chubby to not chubby to fit as
Where do you think you are
chubby.
now?
I'm chubby.
I was like,
At least he's
shows
honest.
himself. I don't think you are. I think
Well,
you're
I mean-
just average.
Okay, I'm average.
I think
Thank
you're
you very
human.
much. No, but no. To your point of
For a
insecurity,
52-year-old man,
like
I think you look amazing.
52. Shit. I'll take gay more than 52. Okay. No, just kidding. No, but when I was fit as like I was,
Yeah.
I was 11% body fat. My brother, all I have to do is call me fat.
Oh, yeah,
because
for
it was
sure.
so ingrained.
For
in
sure.
me. And so I get what you're saying there, but he was like, yeah, it just he knew the trigger. And but I'm beyond that now. It's like I can comfortably sit here with a little bit of this. And I'm like, yeah, I know it's there.
I look
It's not
better.
hurting me.
I look better at 40s, almost 47, than I did through my 20s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel better about myself. And I don't know. You know, a lot of things changed after my stabbing. The way you look at life.
That's
You know
what I
what
say.
I'm
Your
saying?
mindset probably.
Just
a
the way
lot,
you look
right?
at life is really different.
Yeah.
I worked for the state of Washington for 10 years.
Yeah.
And when they started acting funny with me, I was like, I'm out.
Right. You're like, I don't.
Because
wanna
I don't need
waste
this.
time dealing with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it has led to some amazing things. But I also have massive mental health issues. He stabbed me in the face, and like this section of my face is permanently numb. People don't notice it, but I feel it every day. I can't take a shower without seeing, you know.
Right.
I don't get to ever unlive what happened to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I'm in a weird space where I think some people are like, when's she going to get over it? You, never.
Yeah.
Like,
Never.
that's not something you get over.
Right.
You know?
No.
It's me. It's still part of me. Yeah.
When my dad died, I had a friend that her two sisters, and their dad died when we were real young. She was the first person to find out my dad had died, and she gave me the best advice that I give to everyone, which is, it's going to suck, and it's going to suck less, but it's always going to suck.
Yeah.
And I kind of look at that with everything in my life. You know, like what happened to me in terms of the stabbing, I'll never be able to go back to where I was or who I was before. Some parts of me, I don't think I would want to, you know?
Right.
I always am trying to grow. I always am trying to work on my mental health and all of that. But it's always going to be part of me.
Right. Exactly.
It's like losing I guess we all lose our parents really, but you know, even worse, like losing a child or something, you know, it's like the worst of the worst. I've been through a lot, even before my stabbing, you know, I was, most women have been assaulted, it's just things that unfortunately we deal with
Right.
in today's society. So I've been through it before.
Yeah.
But never, obviously, at the level of what happened. But it definitely has made me go, I could have not woken up. When I was sitting in my neighbor's floor talking to my daughter, I gave her the phone and said, call so-and-so, because I knew that person would keep my kids safe until my mom could get here, because I thought I was going to die.
Right. Wow.
That's something I wouldn't wish on anyone.
Right.
Right.
But I didn't. So what am I doing with that time?
Right.
Yep.
And am I going to spend it wisely?
Right.
you know?
Doing something you love.
Yeah, and that's why I think I was brave enough to start comedy. But even there, I've been very honest. You know, I came in fucked up in some ways.
Yeah.
And in some ways, I did great things. Starting the Open Mic Collective, I don't give a fuck what people had to say about it. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And the time that it gave people to do comedy that they didn't have before.
Well, everybody's got to fuck up. You got to learn from it.
Right.
Like you only learn,
exactly.
you learn more from your fuck ups.
I would just say, for us as humans, when we fuck up, it's important to be introspective enough, self-aware enough to learn.
Yeah.
What I would say to us as a collective humanity, when other people are learning, give them grace.
Give them space.
You know what I'm saying? When other people are learning, that was one of the reasons behind the idea with the roast. It was like, just leave Allison alone.
Yeah.
Like, do you even know why you're so mad at her?
Right.
Is it something real? There was a post where a bunch of people were shitting all over me. One guy posted and said, she said blah, blah, blah about a show I did. The guy was like, oh, she said I don't book women on my shows. And I couldn't even remember.
Right.
I remember an interaction with this dude. Couldn't remember the interaction. I went back to our DMs. Sure enough, I had said that on a post. I think he had posted a poster and it was all dudes. And I probably just said, dude. Because as a woman, it's frustrating to see all dudes on a poster, right? Well, he went off on me and I apologized on that post. I deleted my comic. I DM'd him an apology. 2.5 years ago, this happened. But a month ago, he's talking about me on a post. But he's only putting what I did.
Right.
He's not putting the fact that I apologized. He's not putting the fact that I was like, I was wrong.
Right.
I just feel like we should have more grace with each other when we f up.
Yeah, in general, absolutely. Well, that's one thing I remember about the show at the A Street. It was very diverse. It was super diverse.
Super.
And there was something that happened where a comic came up and made a joke that was obviously misogynistic. And it was, I knew the punchline because growing up as a white, straight, cisgender male, you know, you talked about privilege and, you know, we grew up in a society. I saw the punchline because, you know, I was raised in a misogynistic world, right?
Yeah.
But it was still
Like my dad would say.
Exactly. Well, I saw it coming. It's kind of boorish, but you made a comment, and I didn't know if this. You probably don't remember this because you do a lot of them, but I remember because the one time I went there, you did this obviously misogynistic joke, and you came up and you were like, "Well, that's the last time you perform here," and I thought it was interesting. I didn't know if that was a joke or a for real thing.
Ooh, I wish I could have remembered.
I know you weren't going to because it was so long ago,
Right.
and like you do so many of these things, and in the moment you say a thing. But it got me thinking about this idea of like there's been a conversation about punching up, punching down in comedy. And you talked about the family member had cerebral palsy.
Mm-hmm.
So there were two comedians who I just recently watched that have cerebral palsy. It's Josh Blue, I believe, and then Tina Trimmel, I think.
Okay.
And he's up there doing comedy and he's talking about his disability. And I was like, the difference here and what's happening with this guy and what he's doing, and then punching up, he's just talking about himself, or if you punch up or punch down, is humanizing or dehumanizing. And I was like, this guy just humanized all of this stuff. When you're punching down, you're dehumanizing.
Yeah, you're hurting.
You're hurting, and that's what that joke was. It was like, it was hurting you coming from this position.
Right.
So for me to have said that, it must have been pretty serious. I don't normally say that.
Again, it could have been lighthearted.
It could have been.
It might not have been. And
it might not have been.
So
I don't
long
know.
ago.
But it also, that was the old me. Like that was a very long time ago, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where that would have been. I was maybe more judgmental. Now, I won't have people in my rooms that I know are going to push the boundary, because if you're a bar owner and you don't know nothing about comedy, you like it, but you don't know nothing about it, right? And you're paying me $100 to have an open mic, and I'm bringing everybody.
Yeah.
The people in your audience, the 12 people that stuck around and hung out and watched the open mic, could be offended, and now that's going to affect your business negatively. So there is a fine line.
Sure.
And then as comedians, people will go, "Oh, well, you just don't book me because you don't like me." And if someone asks me, I'll tell them. I don't tell them on my own anymore. Like I used to be very open.
Yeah.
I don't. But if you came to me and was like, "Why aren't you booking me?" Or I sign up every month. Why can't I come? Why don't I ever get booked? I would tell them, like, because I just don't trust your comedy in that space. and I have to respect that space. A club is different. You can go to Tacoma Comedy Club any night of the week, Monday through Thursday, and they say whatever the fuck they want.
Right.
All kind of jokes and abortion jokes and misogyny and, you know what I'm saying, men shitting on women, women shitting on men. It's a comedy club.
Yeah.
You came for that, I guess, whatever. But if I'm in your brewery
Right.
and I bring somebody that, you know, is offensive and doesn't give a shit, I'm risking my show for that.
Yeah.
So it's a fine line between all of that. The other side of that is a me thing. If I was being serious in that moment, and I wish I had more context so I could tell you, if I was being serious in that moment, it would have been pretty serious. It would have been something I took very, very offensively. But I'm not. I laugh at things I didn't laugh at 4 years ago.
Well, I mean, I was just on the way here listening to Anthony Jeselnik, and he's dark. Like he sets these things up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then his punchline goes, and he was some of the shit he said, you were like, ooh.
Right.
But he does it really well.
Well, and that's the thing is I love Sam Morril. And a few specials ago, Sam Morril did a whole section on Nazis. It made that shit funny as hell. You know, I don't like the R word. I don't think we need to use it. I don't like the F word for gay people. I don't think we need to use it. Unless you are a gay comic.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Same way you could say the N word, same way we could say bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's certain privileges. You know what I'm saying? Same way you can say apple pie. You know, there's cultural things, right? And like a women's culture, I call everybody bitch all the time. But don't let you call us a bitch. That's a different situation, right?
If I was gay, can I say bitch?
Of course you could.
Okay.
But it'd be more like bitch. It's the long eye. The long eye and the bitch.
Got it. All right.
But I think that, you know, Sam Morril took something that shouldn't be funny, which is the Holocaust, and he made it funny.
Yeah.
You know, I have a joke that I'm kind of working on. There are a couple comics recently that have black comics, Tony Roberts specifically, who has a trans daughter, and his closer talks about his trans daughter and how it took to get to the acceptance point, but then his trans daughter is now having her period, and now she needs like Tylenol or Midol or something, and she's complaining about cramps or something, and he was just like, "That's your inner man coming out," or something. You know, like he took a trans joke, it gave us a little insight to who he was and his own lifestyle. He made it funny though, right? Even though he's kind of capping on her, like, "Oh, you a boy now, but you still need them tampons every month. You're still crying about your little period, whatever."
Right.
There's an art to that, right? Do you know who Aaron Belial? You talked about disabled comedians. Are you familiar with Aaron Belial?
No, not by the name.
You should Google him. Aaron Belial came from, well, I don't know where it came from, but I first saw him on America's Got Talent. Okay. Cannot speak at all.
Is that the one he only does his phone?
Yes, he uses his phone.
Yes.
He usually has his dog on stage.
Yes.
He uses his phone to communicate.
Yes.
He's been on Kill Tony a bunch too.
Yes.
Yeah, they really like him.
I've seen him there.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just on the last Kill Tony, the New York one, if you watched it, that came out last week. He uses the word retard. It weirds me out. It weirds me out, but like, who am I to say, I guess?
That's
you know what I'm saying? That's a guy who's been called retarded his whole life using the R word.
Right.
I guess it's cool. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. It still weirds me out, but that's a specific choice he makes. Right. Yeah. But he's also not punching down on his own people.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
He's celebrating his differences, I guess.
Yeah. And when I watch these comics, it's easy to do that. And I'll see myself even sometimes do it, and or have some impetus, because again, I'm a 52-year-old white male.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, like say the whole title. No.
I just want that. At first it was heterosexual straight, then it says 50-year-old white male. I'm starting to slim it down a little bit here. I'm not 52 though.
Hilarious.
Two truths and a lie, bitch. Just kidding.
The long eye.
Right.
No, but I just appreciate it, because I was thinking about there's been a lot in comedy like about the R word.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying it now because it's back. But yeah. But I was watching like the difference, punching down, punching up, or like Carlin punched up, as we talked about going back, or just having these folks who are in that, they have cerebral palsy and they're doing this comedy and they talk about it and they make fun of themselves. They make light of themselves and their struggles in a way that everybody laughs, and it just humanizes them and everybody else that has cerebral palsy or that situation. And it's brilliant to see because, like you said, back at the start, these persons were shipped off to nunneries.
Yeah.
Get out of sight.
Or institutions.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, but they're humans.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, we still have institutions here in Washington, right? But we have as many people as we can living in community.
Yeah.
Because institutionalizing people especially for just being special needs is not very humane. I do think that our society has evolved. I do think sometimes we bring things back that I don't necessarily get.
Yeah.
I don't think we are as evolved as we like to think we are at times. But I think when it comes to comedy, a lot of people think, everything, you can say anything you want if you make it funny. For me, there's still lines. For me, there's still a couple things that I'm just like, but why?
Yeah.
Why do you use the R word when you could just say stupid?
Yeah.
You're using it because you want that. You want the shock and awe
Yeah.
Yep.
of that word, right?
Yeah.
But what would happen if a white person used the M word?
Right.
Yeah.
The shock and awe. Nate Jackson would be an ass whooping in the Pacific Avenue,
Right.
you know?
Exactly.
So it's like, why are we okay with that?
Yeah.
Just like when they punch down on women, you know what I'm saying? Fat women.
Right.
You know, like there's ways to make it funny,
Yeah.
and there's ways to just punch down and be a dick.
Yeah, and that's I was going into this. I was writing my questions after watching these guys. I was like, okay, being funny is the goal, but then there's a line because people can make jokes that people will laugh at,
Sure.
but it's still not. You know,
There's a million reasons why people laugh, though.
Sure.
Right? Like, there's a million reasons people laugh. Sometimes they laugh out of comfort or lack of comfort. Some people laugh because they're uncomfortable.
Money.
That's me.
You know?
Money
That's me
likes to
sometimes.
do that.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
like when he's at an open mic and the person's bombing, he laughs hella hard.
Yeah,
And I was like, I
does.
thought you liked him. It's like, no, I was uncomfortably laughing.
Yeah.
I was
like,
a comic.
for
I
real?
mean, if you guys come to Nate's, there's a comic. And this is my person. You might have seen him, I'm sure. Ezra Bonias.
Ooh, yeah,
Right?
Just recently.
Like, he's a newer comic,
Yeah.
and there's some stuff that he says is funny. He did a joke recently. I don't know if it's new or not, but he did a joke about like fucking a fat girl, and he's a big dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's funny because I didn't say this on the mic because I didn't go after him, but outside I said, I think that joke is ironic because we all know you don't fuck anyone, you know? Like, I said that to his face
Yeah.
outside, just fucking with him,
Yeah.
you know? But to me, I'm like, why are you making jokes about that? Like, why is a fat boy making fun of a fat, like in a demeaning way? But here in Ezra's defense, he's a new comic.
And we just recently saw him because he was with the show it went down in Lacey at Trenton.
Oh, you guys went to Showbox?
It's just
I meant
and
to
I've seen them a few
Speed
times
Drop?
at the open mic, but it was
Yeah.
just you can tell his comfortability being on stage and delivering
Yeah,
the
and that'll
jokes,
all
and some of
come.
it might just you get that feeling. He's very new at this,
Yeah.
and he's
And all that will come though. Like if
Yeah.
he really wants to work on it,
yeah.
he will figure it out and it will come. And I think there's some things that Ezra says and does that are very funny.
Yeah.
So comedy is weird. You know, comedy's full of weird people that do it. Comedy is full of weird people that like it. Like I learned my lesson on that situation where I made the comment about Mason A in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
I had to really be self-aware and say, was that joke racist? Right? First, as a white woman, when I made fun of him saying library, was it racist? Right? And then I was like, no, it was funny. It was just in front of the wrong audience.
Yeah.
And that's a whole lot of self-awareness. Because if I had to look at it and go, do I actually think this was racist? I do tons of anti-racism work. So I never want to be seen as racist. Right? So I had to really reflect on that first. Like, was that joke just not funny at all? And then I was like, no, that was funny. It just in front of a different audience, it would have hit.
Yeah.
Versus the very sensitive, politically extra left leaning, you know. And that's
University crowd up. Seattle.
I mean, it's just how it is, right? It's now Emerald City Comedy Club, but it was
Oh, is
Comedy
that what
Bar.
it is? Is that what it is now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, that was at Laughs.
That's what it
But
is.
Emerald City Comedy Club used to be Comedy/Bar, And they had a whole controversy where they invited some comics to perform, and then they canceled on them because they realized they were the Legion of something. I don't follow these dudes. They're Austin comics, right? Like they're
Sure.
Dave
They're with
Smith,
Joe
who's a
Rogan.
libertarian.
He's at
and-
Tacoma.
yeah, Kurt, I don't know, whatever Kurt's name is, I don't know. But there was 4 of them. And so they were like, come to Capitol Hill and do jokes. And then they were like, oh, shit, you cannot come to Capitol Hill and do jokes.
Right,
like,
'cause-
you're not, like, you're going to get us shut down.
Right.
I remember that.
First of all, that's overly sensitive white shit happening, right? But then the owner sent them a letter and said, we just don't think you would fit in our community. Just tell them you overbooked.
Yeah, exactly.
They ended up.
I remember that.
It was
Yeah.
so controversial.
I remember that.
They ended up going to the Comedy Cellar and being the owner of Comedy Cellar on his podcast about it. It was very messy. They got a lot of publicity. I don't know if it's good or bad, right? But they got a lot of publicity. Tacoma Comedy Club instantly booked those 4 comics.
Yeah.
You know, because Tacoma Comedy Club is not the same. But in Seattle, people can be very sensitive to content. It is what it is.
Right.
You know, I mean, yeah. I mean, Louis C.K. is doing comedy again.
Yeah. He's back.
There are some people who love Louis C.K. that will never see Louis C.K. again,
Yeah.
and from a moral standpoint.
Yeah.
And there's some people that are foaming at the mouth to see Louis C.K. back in action.
I watched his. He's talking about it sucks when people know your kink out, and everybody knows my kink. Everybody knows it.
It's a lot, right?
It's a weird kink, but he owned it.
He did, and
Yeah.
that's where I think we have to have some grace.
There you go.
You know, we're human.
I don't even remember what the situation was with him.
Something happened in a green room, and the girls, one of the women said like, pull it out, and he did. But like,
that's
also,
right.
wait, what? She said.
I swear he also liked to like jerk off and nut in plants.
Yeah.
And then maybe that was the same situation.
I think it was.
He liked to maybe pleasure himself in front of ladies.
It's all coming back now.
I saw the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the movie.
Yeah, I think that, again,
Yeah.
some people, it's the eternal argument of R. Kelly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you separate the art from the artist? Are you still listening? I mean, I don't listen to much R. Kelly anymore. But you put that remix to Ignition on, it's hard to, you know what
Your
I'm
body
saying?
starts doing. Your face may not be reacting, but your body starts reacting.
You know,
Some things are uncontrollable.
some people will
apparently.
never listen
Yeah.
to Drake or Kendrick because of wherever they stood on Last Year's Drama. Or,
True.
but, I don't know. I don't know.
That's
At the end of the day, we're all human.
Live and let live.
Period.
Yeah. Well, I am now going to close the show.
Yeah, we've been.
But anyway, no.
Thank you for highlighting local artists.
No, but this has been fun, and I'm super glad you came along. Just like from the start, having a good time, laughing.
Yeah, the
That's
energy
what we're about,
was high from the start. It was fun.
and I just appreciate it because I certainly needed it this weekend. Some laughs. So
Yeah. No, this has been fun. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you
it's
so
been great.
much.
You guys are, again, highlighting local artists is really important.
Like for all 3 of us in different ways, like we've always wanted to be in that world, and get to understand comedians, because it's just because, I mean, in my opinion, honestly, I think comedians are some of the smartest people because of their wit and how they can manipulate, I don't say manipulate, but I mean, again, I kind of wanted to touch on the fact that you guys don't ever know what environment you're really going into. You're really on the spot. You're performing. You're taking it in.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me, it's a huge skill. So, like, that's comedy again for us and enjoying laughter and being around that. We just always wanted to kind of incorporate that into what we were doing anyway.
Well, it's also, I mean, I would say you guys take the same risk because you guys go to mics, you guys go to shows where you don't know the comedians,
true.
I'm sure.
True. Yeah, we'll go. Just
There's some people that will only go see famous people. Like,
Yeah.
I'm only going to see D.L. Hughley because I like D.L. Hughley.
Right.
But that's why supporting live comedy, local live
Yeah.
comedy is so important.
Yeah.
Because, you might not know Mike Hansen, right? He's been a comic for 6, 7, 8 years. He's very funny. I'm having him headline this show because he's very funny. He doesn't get enough opportunities to headline because he's a straight white dude, And and so he doesn't always get the same opportunities as other people. But he's from Puyallup, so I'm like, yeah, of course I'm gonna.
Right.
You know, his home bar is Scotty's, which is around the corner from Charlie's.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, yeah, I want him to highlight the first one.
That little.
Oh, everyone goes there.
I know.
It's crazy. It's wild.
Yeah, I've been there.
The people that go there, right? But that's why I'm having Mike do that.
That's cool.
You guys could come to that show and be like, become his fan.
Yeah, man. I used to cut up.
That's the 20th.
I used to tear it up at Charlie's,
yeah.
man. That was my. For a while, they would have a DJ. I was always going to Charlie's.
Oh yeah,
Charlie's
it's been around forever.
And unfortunately, Bumpy's, but you know.
And unfortunately,
I've always been hit or miss.
Can we talk
with
about
Bumpy's.
why all the bars in Puyallup are named after single name dude bars?
Yeah, I know, right?
Charlie's, Bumpy's, Scotty's,
TK's. Like,
there's another one. I'm like, I'm just gonna open up a bar just so a woman has representation down in downtown Puyallup. What the
Right.
What's it going to be called?
Allie's. There you go. There's your closer.
There it is.
Talk about a callback.
All right. Well, Allison Fine.
AKA Allie, real funny AF.
Thank you. I was going to say it, but I was like, I'll probably it up.
Yeah, no, thank
Thanks
you.
for coming on. And I'd love to have you back.
Yeah, absolutely. Follow me on social
funny.
media.
Go be funny.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.